Hi, welcome to this month's tutorial. This month we are making a stand-up card and a matching gift box to go with it. All my Stampers 10 ladies will have their kits ready, and inside we'll have a piece of 4" by 12" craft cardstock. This has been scored at 4 inches, 6 inches and 8 inches. Okay, and you'll need to fold that in half. You'll have a piece of very vanilla ribbon, 2 pieces of very vanilla cardstock, 1 piece of soft suede cardstock, and also a piece of rich razzleberry. I'm going to start with our craft cardstock base, and what I've done here is I folded it in half. I'm going to use my adhesive on the small fold flap there, and I'm going to fold that back on itself. Now I have the shape which is going to stand up. Okay, and that's my card base done. Super simple. Next I'm going to rip the bottom of my soft suede cardstock. I'm just going to tear that all the way along. Doesn't really matter if that's too neat. And then I'm going to mount my rich raspberry to the back of my piece of soft suede. Just like so. Next we're going to need a square piece of vanilla cardstock, and we're going to start doing some stamping. So I have my Stamp-A-Majig, and I used Bloomin' with Beauty for this card, but for this one today I'm going to be using the Greenhouse Garden stamp set. I'm going to be needing the stalk, and also I think I'll use the big flower this time. I'm going to use the rich razzleberry ink and the soft suede so that it matches with our card. And I'm going to start with my stalk. So I'm just inking up my stamp there, and I have a piece of scrap paper, and I'm just stamping off onto my scrap paper, and then stamping onto my cardstock. So I'm going to use the rich razzleberry, and I'm going to ink up the solid image from this stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it onto the piece of scrap paper, and then I'm going to just line up. I'm just eyeballing this time onto my piece of cardstock, and now I need to put the second image on, so I'm going to ink up my stamp. I've put the plastic into my handle again, stamp into the corner of the handle, straight down onto the plastic, so I'm going to put my handle back onto my plastic, which will hold my cardstock down. Ink up my stamp into the handle and straight down onto my cardstock. Okay, so there's my flower. Next I've got a piece of scrap vanilla. I'm going to be using the single butterfly stamp, which is in the new mini catalogue called All Aflutter. And I'm going to stamp this in soft suede. Just into the corner of my cardstock, and then as you can see I've got some colour in the lid of my ink pad. I'm using the rich razzleberry I'm going to be using one of these. These are blender pens. What they've got in them is a clear liquid, which means that you can pick up any colour and make any colour marker from your ink pads. So I'm going to pick up the colour from my ink pads. I'm just going to transfer that to my image. Okay, and then to clean my blender pen, I'm just going to scribble on the backing paper until it goes clear, and then that pen is ready to be used again with another colour. To cut that butterfly out, but before we do that, I'm going to just stamp my tiny tags as well, which I've put on the bottom down here. Now this stamp set is in the new mini catalogue, and there's lots of really cute little tags. So I'm going to use the flower stamp and the dotted tags. Now this is another two-step stamping set, which you can use the Stamp-A-Majig with if you want to. I prefer to just eyeball it. So I'm just stamping my outline image onto the cardstock. Stamping off again, and then onto my tag with my sentiment. And the thing that I love about this stamp set is it's got a matching punch. So I'm going to slip the punch over the top of the tag and just punch those out. They're really dainty and cute. I'm going to pop those to one side so I don't lose them. I'm going to go back to our card, which we've got ready over here, and I'm going to layer the vanilla onto the soft suede and the rich raspberry onto the craft. I'm going to wrap the very vanilla around the base of my card. To get a nice knot, you cross it over and fold it back on itself. Put your finger in the middle and bring the loop away from you, back over into a loop, and tuck the right end through. Ribbon in the direction of the ribbon underneath. Just trim the ends off. Now, because we want this to stay put, I'm just going to pop a mini glue dot underneath the ribbon, just to keep it still. That way that will hold, straighten that up, that'll hold the rest of your card upright. Now we need our butterfly, so I'm just going to trim my butterfly and now I've got my butterfly punched out. I'm going to pop it up on a couple of dimensionals and stick my butterfly on the front of my card. And then the final touch to the card are our tiny tags. And then I'm just going to use a little piece of linen thread, and we're going to thread that through the tags. And then loop it around the ribbon. Okay, and there's our finished card.